Welcome everyone back to Through Inquisitive Kids, and in this video we will be looking at the first problem of our cattle grazing problems category. And this is not the first time we have made a playlist about this. We have made a more basic series on the same topic, so I will be putting the link to that in the description down below. And if you would like to look into that, feel free to click the link. So let's get into this problem. The grass on a pasture grows with a constant speed. It can be completely eaten by 12 cows by 25 days. It can also be completely eaten by 24 cows by 10 days. How many cows are needed in order to finish the entire pasture by 20 days? So when doing cattle raising problems, there's going to be 4 steps that we usually take. So here is steps to take. So number 1 is to let one cow eat 1 unit of grass per day, so in 1 day. So that's our first step, right? Just to setting that value so we know what the rest is based off of. And our next one is we have to find the amount of grass that grows every day. Remember, it grows at a constant speed. So even if you eat half of the pasture today, the next day you have to eat, say, maybe 3/4 of the pasture again because there are new grass growing as you eat. So you have to find number of units of grass growing per day. Okay, so far we have 2 steps. The first one is set, and the second one is find the number of units of grass growing per day. The third one is find the original amount of grass. So find original number of grass. So this is basically the 3 steps that we usually take to solve the problem. In number 4, to get the values in. And number 4 is to split it into the amount of cows into old cows and new cows. And I'll explain what it means. There's a lot of abbreviations here, so I'll go over it again. The first step is to let one cow eat 1 unit of grass in 1 day. Our second step is to find the number of units of grass grown per day. Our number 3 is to find the original amount of grass. So what it means is original amount of grass is when you start eating how many grass are there before there's any new ones growing in. And then we're going to split the cows into old cows, which are the cows that only eat the original amount of grass, and the new cows, which are the cows that have to take care of the new grass that's growing as the old cows eat the old grass. So that is the 4 steps. And now let's get into the problem. Maybe you'll understand it better as we start doing the problem. So in the problem, we know that there's 2 different ways that you can finish this pasture. 12 cows with 25 days or 24 cows with 10 days. So with the first one, 12 cows with 25 days and 24 cows with 10 days, the first scenario has more grass in than the second scenario, actually. Well, you might be wondering, well, why? Because the pasture doesn't grow bigger or smaller, right? It stays the same. Well, that's because the first scenario has more days. So in more days, there's more grass that are growing. So the amount of grass that the first scenario has is 12. This is way too small. I'll use yellow. 12 times 25, right? And then we have 24 times 10. That's the other scenario. All right, so what we do is we try to first find So this I'm not writing out because it should always be like this. Um, but whenever you're doing your problem, just to make sure that you don't get confused, you have to always write this sentence at the top of each solution. Got it? Got it. So right now we're trying to find the number of units of grass growing per day. So we're first gonna find the total amount of grass growing, find their difference, and then divide that by the difference in their days, number of days, which is divided by 25 minus 10. So after simplifying, we get the difference of 300 and 240 divided by 15, which is 60 divided by 15, which is equal to 4. So there are 4 units of grass that are growing per day. So we have our second step done. First one is done, second step done. Now let's try to find the original number of grass. Well, the original number of grass would be if you take the total number of days and then you times that by 4. No, so you would, in order to find the original number of grass, you would first multiply the number of cows with the number of days eaten. So let's take the second scenario. You could do either way, but I'm going to do the second scenario. So you're going to do 24 times 10, right? And then you subtract that 10 times 4. 4 is the number of units of grass grown per day. So 10 times 4, that would be the number of grass that were growing in these 10 days. We know that there's 4 units of grass per day and there are 10 days. And after you find that, you have 200. So the original number of grass was 200 units of grass. Okay, so 200 units of grass, and we know that we're trying to find how many cows are needed to finish the entire pasture by 20 days. So we know that there's 4 units of grass per day growing. So let's first have a portion of cows take care of these 4 units of grass per day. So that would be 4 cows that always eat the new grass though. And then we add 200, that's the total amount. That's the total amount of the original number of grass. We already took care of the new, so we have to now do the old. 200, and then we have to divide that by 20. Why? Because we want to finish it in 20 days. So 200 divided by 20 is 10, and add that with 4, we get 14. So our final answer is 14 cows. Thank you for watching through Inquisitive Kids, and see you in problem 2.